brand new month means a bunch more games are headed to your PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. We've got all the titles you can expect and win, and we'll tell you which ones we can't wait to play.
And Meta revealed a new VR headset and a ton of new games in their latest Meta Quest showcase. We're going to talk about all this stuff and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. You can find us on Fruit Lab, YouTube, podcast services, everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red, joined every single week by this son of a bee right here. Full clip. What's going on, dude? How are you?
Hey, doing pretty good. Yeah, riding that roller coaster of gaming news. We have our way ups and our low downs. Every episode in itself is a roller coaster too. And
it sure is.
Glad to join you on this ride.
Oh man, we're in the front row, arms up, just screaming our little tiny heads off. Yeah, I like it. How you been? Good?
Yeah, doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just just trying to survive the week. I was just complaining about how warm it's been lately. So, I've just been trying to stay inside, play a lot of video games, but it hasn't been happening. But
now, are you fully healed up from the wrist injury?
Yeah. Not. I would say I'm at like 90%. Okay,
not quite peak gamer yet. But
no,
getting there.
And I've never been 100%. I don't think ever. So. I'm only about 3% off from where I normally are. So,
fair enough.
But yeah, I definitely no complaints. Everything is, everything's running real smoothly over here. You been doing anything fun? Playing any games? Any exciting things?
I mean, I spoke a little bit last time about falling back into Car Mechanic Simulator, and man, I've fallen hard. So there's like a whole side of the game I've never explored before, which is where you really get into the customization of things through, I would call it light modding. So they kind of set you up for success here. You can add different variants of the cars. It's just copying and pasting a couple files in your folder system for the game. And you can change all kinds of parameters, and they bundle in a car editor. So I'm thinking, what can I do as I'm searching through Nexus Mods and the Steam Workshop that nobody's done before? And the answer was the Carolina Squat. You familiar with that?
No. It sounds like a weird sex maneuver though.
It could be. But in this case, it's when dudes take their pickup trucks and they let the ass end of it go way down to the ground, and that they lift the front. It looks like they got halfway through a lift kit and gave up. But it's a trend in Carolina, Tennessee, California. And they're starting to make these trucks illegal in real life, I guess. But I never saw anybody do one or have one up as far as like a modded vehicle, because you can upload these things to Steam Workshop and other people can download it and modify their own. So I went through the process of editing that, made my own. Then I took on a second project. I made a slam van, just drop it to the ground as far as possible, move the engine into the back of it, and it's kind of fun because you're going beyond where the game really expects you to go. Yeah. They definitely make it possible for you to go there, but I'm doing things in the game you wouldn't normally be able to do, which is kind of awesome.
You're like the new Exhibit. You're out there just pimping everybody's ride.
Yo, I heard you like a cotton candy, so we put a cotton candy machine in your car.
Exactly. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, you really just went down the rabbit hole, huh? Just you're Carolina squatting already.
Oh yeah.
That's exciting. I didn't get into much new this week. I'm still doing Miles Morales, still trying to 100% that. I got to play Blasphemous. It's we talked about the sequel's coming out soon this summer. So I was like, I finally got the old one, maybe a couple years old now. It's like a side-scrolling Metroidvania game. So I'm playing that, and it's beautiful, and it's hard, and it's fun. So I'm doing that on my Steam Deck. What else? Oh, I got we talked about it again recently. We Apple Arcade, how they like are really like trying to, get all their shit together. So
Yeah.
a buddy of mine, we're splitting the Apple Arcade. It's only $5 a month, but he was like interested in the games. He was like, man, I really want to play this game. And I was like, there's a couple games I've been wanting to check out on there. So we're like, let's just do it. Let's, $250 for like a bunch of games. So I've been playing some older like games on the Apple Arcade, checking some of those out. I tried the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game and stuff like that. So man, there's a lot of games on the Apple Arcade, and it's nice playing. It's very, very rare to be able to play a mobile game that is not just riddled with ads. And it's nice when like you're expecting it, like any, new level or new thing, you're expecting like an ad to come pop up, and then it doesn't. You're like, oh yeah, this is nice. Apple Arcade, it's nice. So for the $5 a month, man, I definitely recommend the service. My kid's playing Angry Birds. He's never played that before, and he's in love with it. It's just like they got all these old games that like when mobile gaming was like just kind of coming into itself, like Jetpack Joyride. You remember that game? That was
Not
real
sure. Is it
popular.
like Flappy Bird?
Kind of like that, except your jetpack like is like a gun, and you like shoot people on the ground and stuff, and you have other gun. It's like a lot like Flappy Bird. But yeah, I've gone full full boomer, and I'm just playing mobile games from our youth.
Well, they certainly make it look cool because I'm getting bombarded with the Apple Arcade ads. So
Right?
who knows where this is going to go? Did you get to try out that? Yeah. Did you get to try out the like Fox animation racing game they had on there? We talked about a while back. That's like Peter
I
Griffin
didn't.
and Hank Hill.
I forgot about that. I will. I'll try it out. I'll see what it is. I did scroll past it the other day. I was like, oh yeah, this one, and then I kept scrolling. So yeah, I'll report back. See how Hank Hill Razor is.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about before we get into it?
Hey, we better just get there.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about our new releases from last week. All right, first up, we had System Shock, the remake of System Shock. It came out May 30th for PC, with console versions coming out sometime later this year. They don't have a date yet for those. But this is a remake of the game from 1994. It's first person, like cyberpunk game. Where you're on a space station, and I guess you wake up from like a coma, and there's like this evil AI running things, and like there's all these things. So you gotta hack into stuff and do cool stuff. I was not familiar with the original. Were you?
No, but it seems like we're talking about these more and more. We just talked about like a Mac
Right.
from 1984
Yeah.
game.
I mean, they're remaking everything. Yeah, everything's getting remade. Now, this one was kickstarted back in 2015. So it's been a while. Since this thing was given the initial go-ahead. And it's getting pretty decent reviews. Everybody seems to enjoy it, especially people that were a fan of the original. It's got a nice style. It's got a good look.
Yeah, those are the people who are checking this out first and foremost, the hyped about the launch and everything. Mm-hmm. And I did see on Metacritic it's got like an 82% user score. So
yeah,
it means the fans of the original are coming back for this, and they're loving it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're doing, gone are the days of the shitty remake, it seems. Everything that's coming out is either at least serviceable, if not very well made. So, System Shock. Check it out. And then next up, Street Fighter 6 came out June 2nd on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Xbox One, I think, as well. Your classic Street Fighter game. But this one's getting rave reviews. Right now, as we're talking, 92 on Metacritic. And it's just because it's packed with like things you could do in this game. And the more and more I kept seeing that you can do in this game, it just kept blowing my mind. So first of all, there's 3 different modes that you can play. There's the fighting ground, and that's just your regular arcade style. You pick one of the, what do they got? 18 characters, and then it's your fighting game. Play local, play against computer. Then they have the world tour. This, you create a character, and then you go. It's like a single player action adventure style game where you're like beating people up along the way. And then they have the battle hub where you use your created character and you can play against people online in ranked casual modes. But in addition to all those things, so first of all, they've got this insane created character mode, which I'm sure we'll be talking about in the near future, because like people are making the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in a created character mode. So that's a lot of fun. Those are going to be like the clips that you're going to be seeing on your TikToks and your YouTube shorts. Just absurd created characters. And then on top of that, like, so there's like this, you could play like old Capcom games in like the battle world. It's like an arcade where you could play like Street Fighter 2 and Final Fight yeah, I think it was that. So it's just crazy, the amount of stuff. And then on top of that, the actual gameplay is some of the best Street Fighter gameplay that they've had in a long time. So it's got this new drive gauge. It's like, basically it's got like these, I think it's like 5 or 6 slots, and you can use them in different ways. You could use them to parry. You could use them as an action move. So it's fully customizable how you want to use your drive gauge. So it creates like so many options when you're fighting. You never know what the person's going to do with their gauge and how they want to use it, defend, battle. And that's really cool. And then on top of that, they got these like mini games throughout it. Like, there's so much in this game. And I'm not like a huge fighting game fan. I like, I'll play the Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that. I played the demo of this and I liked the fighting. I thought it was fun. But the more I see of this and the more reviews that I read, I'm like, I think I need to buy Street Fighter 6, which it never once occurred to me. So it's insane. I don't know. Yeah, it's something you would pick up, you think?
Now that you explained a lot of that, yeah, because I wasn't, I didn't know about the depth of it like that.
Yeah.
I saw your video that you did on the demo, but it looked like maybe they had some like pre-made characters for you to choose from. But there was a really wide range, like a cyberpunk character, a granny.
Yes, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I saw how in-depth the character creation thing was, and I'm like, I ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm like, let me just pick one of these prettier things, because I wanted to see what the gameplay was, and then it takes you to this gameplay. But yeah, check out I think there's a demo out for the console. So yeah, if you're at all interested, check it out. See if you're drawn to the fighting. But yeah, it's an amazingly action-packed game full of stuff, and it's all very, very well done. I mean, if it wasn't this month that it was coming out, I might have it already. But dude, like, Diablo comes out in a few days, which I'm already like got FOMO, because friends of mine that I was planning to play with got the ultimate version, which it's available for them now ahead of time. Yeah. So they're up there leveling up, and I'm just gonna come in, and they already get like, I think with the ultimate version you get like mountains, like you can ride around on. I'm gonna be walking around like some jabroni, and they're gonna be riding some amazing demon horse or something. And then, then AEW and I don't know, Final Fantasy. June is insane.
Yeah, big month.
Big month. But that being said, it's a big month. Those are really the only 2 major games that came out this week. So I'm sure next week we'll have a lot more to talk about. All right, so let's move things along. Let's talk about our news of the week. All right, let's kick off this week with talking about the latest announcements for PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass. Some big exciting games coming here. So PlayStation Plus announced their June games. Going to be NBA 2K3, which, I mean, we all know what NBA is. I don't got to talk about that one. Jurassic World Evolution. That's a like a sim, like a builder. You build a theme park builder with dinosaurs. I've always wanted to play that one. I'm not huge into like the Sims or the theme park builders, but I love dinosaurs.
Oh yeah,
it's a win for me. And then it's got like, people from the movies are in there. Jeff Goldblum, right in there, telling me how to make a dinosaur park. Life finds a way. I think he's gonna say that probably.
Exactly.
And then Trek to Yomi is another one that comes out. So that one I played on Game Pass. That's that. It's like playing an old Japanese kung fu movie, black and white, side scrolling, beat 'em up. It's a lot of fun. I never finished that, so maybe I'll start on PlayStation and get those trophies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be my pick between, this month's offering there.
Yeah, not a big NBA guy.
Nah, for the 5,000th time. Like, you go to the flea market, that's the only old game you can find. NHL 96, NBA 2002. Been there, done that.
There's a lot of them. Yeah, so those will be coming out June 6th. So you have until June 6th to get the previous ones, Grid Legends, Chivalry 2, and Descenders. So go add those to your library, and you will have those as long as you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. All right, and then next up, the Game Pass games, the first announcement for June. So available right now, Chicory, A Colorful Tale. I played that one on PlayStation. It's cute. You got to paint things, and it's like a little, adventure game. Far World Pioneers. This is a day one game. Explore the universe in this open world sci-fi sandbox. You could expand, exploit, and adventure alone or with friends in multiplayer servers of up to 32 players. You craft, build, mine, and farm peacefully together, or strap an electric death rifle to your back and take on the galaxy. This one sounds right up your alley.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, you love electric death rifles and farming. Your two favorite things. Speaking of one of your favorite things, Car Mechanic Simulator 2021, out June 1st. I got to try it. You
do.
I won't have the mods. I won't have Carolina Squats, but I'll have the Cleveland Steamers. You know what I mean?
There you go. That's all you need.
Exactly. That's all you need. 4,000 unique parts and over 72 different cars. I'm going to work on them. Yeah, I wouldn't have ever probably thought to try this, except I know that you have had glowing reviews of it the last couple weeks. So,
it's good.
I'm very much excited to get in there. Another one that came out, Slayers X, Terminal Aftermath, Vengeance of the Slayer. This is the worst title of any game that I've ever read in my entire life. There's 2 colons in the game. Oh my goodness. That is also, it's a day one game. Do you have what it takes to be X-Slayer? 7 weapons, blood, and gore. 7 weapons. You're really advertising you have 7 weapons in a game now in 2023? Yeah. Or whatever. The Big Con came out June 1st. Hustle your way across 90s America as a runaway teen con artist. That sounds great. Amnesia the Bunker comes out June 6th. It's a first-person horror game set in a desolate World War I bunker. So I played that. Very scary. The dynamic of this one is like if you have very limited light sources, and if you're in the dark for a long period of time, you like lose your shit and like freak out. And it is it causes you to have a lot of anxiety. So yeah, check it out if that sounds like something you like. Hypnospace Outlaw also comes out June 6th. This was on Game Pass. It's coming back. It's a 90s internet simulator in which you scour Hypnospace's wide variety of weird and wonderful websites to hunt down wrongdoers, while also keeping an eye on your inbox, avoiding viruses and adware. This sounds fun. 90s internet simulator.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been there, right? Well, not all of us. We have. You gotta wait. Do you think half of this game is just like waiting for like your picture to load for like 5 minutes?
Probably so. Getting the virus off of Kazaa or LimeWire.
Yes. Oh, tell me about it. I had to like reformat so many hard drives because when I'm looking for like the latest like Semisonic song.
Yeah.
Rune Factory 4 Special comes out June 8th. Rune Factory games. If you know it, you love it. It's a fantasy farming adventure.
Yeah, spin-off of Story of Seasons, which everybody knows is the real Harvest Moon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I feel like you've just doomed us. And then Stacking comes out June 8th. This is from Tim Schafer's Double Fine Productions. It's living Russian stacking dolls. You jump into more than 100 unique dolls and use their special abilities to solve a wide variety of puzzles and challenges. And then lastly, June 13th, Dordogne. It's another day one game to Game Pass. Unique narrative experience and explore the 1,000 summer colors of Dordogne as you revisit your childhood to uncover lost family secrets in this touching, formative journey. So, a lot of weird ones. But we'll see. You know, those weird ones are usually the diamonds in the rough. I don't know. I was looking at the Game Pass catalog yesterday. And, you know, for a while they were dropping some heavy hitters, some big dogs, day one, you know?
Yeah.
And they haven't had one of those in quite a while. So.
Yeah, but they also, I mean, they lose games every once in a while, but it's not usually the games you're interested in playing. So all the big things are still on there. Just got to have time to play them, and that's my problem. I want to play like Fallout 76. Just don't have the time to give to it.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's too many games. And it's funny because we complain about like the games that are coming. It's like there's hundreds of games available on there. And it's like, you know, you just got to find that, like, no one expected Hi-Fi Rush to be the big hit that it was when that was a day one release on Game Pass, you know? So maybe Dordogne is the new Hi-Fi Rush and is going to get everybody's juices flowing. But speaking of games leaving, so leaving June 15th, Bridge Constructor Portal, Chorus, Maneater, Mortal Shell, Serious Sam 4, and Total War 3 Kingdoms are all leaving the Game Pass. So, you know, get in there and play some Maneater. Eat people as a shark until June 15th. All right. Anything else you want to talk about with those services?
Everybody should try out Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. I just got to say that one more time.
I will. I'm going to try it out.
Yeah, beyond that now.
All right. Yeah, that is that's a good pick. And then go try Hypnospace Outlaw, 90s Internet Simulator. All right. Let's move things along. Let's talk about the Summer of Games. This is what we're talking about this June. Summer of Games. E3 is but the announcements, they keep on coming. So Meta Quest, well, I guess we'll say Meta, they had a showcase showing a bunch of games, and prior to that showcase they announced the Meta Quest 3 is coming. We don't know yet. They didn't tell us when, but they did say that it will be $500 and will be the most powerful headset yet, twice as powerful as the previous one. Are you jumping into VR with this, dude? Meta style?
Man, I don't know. Mainly because of the price tag, because the Quest 2 is the best one that I've tried. And I mean,
twice as powerful.
Yeah. And but that doesn't necessarily mean that all the games for it are going to be taking advantage of that, because I think a lot of developers are going to be wanting to hit multiple headsets.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's going to be, you're absolutely right. I think they're the games that are going to be coming out are going to be for that. We'll see how it compares to the PSVR 2, which right now is the most powerful. And see how they differ. But they noted they completely redesigned the Quest 3's Touch Plus controllers to have a more streamlined and ergonomic form. And then talking about the Quest 2, they announced that it's getting a price cut. So that's going to drop to $299 for the 128 gigabyte model and $349 for the 256 gigabyte model. So that could be your foray. You just, get one of those cheaper joints, 300 beans, and you could probably still be playing a bunch of these games. Who knows? No one knows. We'll probably find out more soon. They're going to have a another showcase somewhere. what do they say? Soonish, maybe like September. That seems far. I don't remember what I read, but yeah, they're gonna be talking about it more in another showcase coming out real soon. So, yeah, if you're a fan of VR and staying up to date on all the new headsets, then yeah, it's gonna be here in no time. So, in addition to that, they also talked about all these new games that are coming to the Meta Quest, and I got excited because I'm sure a lot of these are then also going to be coming to the PlayStation VR 2. So they really didn't say, which ones are or which ones aren't. There were a couple that did announce soon after they were shown that they'll be coming over there. But just real quick, they announced Assassin's Creed VR game. It's officially named Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. They didn't show off any any footage of that or anything. New Asgard's Wrath game was announced. Samba de Amigo Party Central. It's like
Cocaine the game.
yes, a Nintendo Switch game where you like shake the Joy Cons. Now there's a VR one where you you just dance around with a monkey. Just like we all do. NFL Pro Era. It's a new one of those coming out. Stranger Things VR game. That one looked interesting. I'm a big fan of the Stranger Things series. This one you play as Vecna, but it's got like a kind of like a cell shaded style. It's not as like dark as that world. Another look at the new Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord. I'm excited for all the Ghostbusters games coming to VR, so that's sweet. I Expect You to Die 3, Cog in the Machine. Got a new trailer for that. Silent Slayer: Vault of the Vampire. That one sounds exciting. Racket Club. It's a new tennis game. And then Vampire the Masquerade. So this one was one of the ones that did announce that it's going to be on PlayStation VR 2. So that's a vampire adventure game in VR. Ooh, yeah. And then Arizona Sunshine 2. They talked about, and Dungeons of Eternity, new VR action role-playing game that you can play with your friends. Seventh Guest. Do you remember that game from the 90s?
No.
It's like a 90s like puzzle adventure game. So that's coming out for the Meta Quest VR. And then a Attack on Titan VR game coming out real soon.
That would look pretty crazy. You seen the show?
I've watched a little bit. I don't know if it was like the first episode, but a buddy of mine was like, I was asking, I'm like, I want a good anime to get into, and he was like, this is the one. So like he showed me an episode. I don't know if it was the first one or not. I liked it. Never went back to it.
Yeah. How about experiencing it in VR?
Oh shit, that's the way to
I'd try it out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everything's better in VR. And then Bulletstorm, 2011 first-person shooter game is now coming to Meta Quest. It's weird that they're bringing back all these old-ass games and just popping them in VR. But, whatever's going to make that money. You know what I mean? All right, next up, let's talk about something we haven't talked about in a while. CD Projekt Red. We haven't mentioned that. We went like months like talking about them every single week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a while. So some news coming out of CD Projekt Red. First of all, there's a new round of layoffs coming to CD Projekt Red. Now this one is from Gwent. So the developers of Gwent, the game is coming to an end. They're no longer going to be supporting it. And they were initially going to put the developers into other projects within CDPR and have decided that they're just going to lay them off. So about 30 people are being laid off once Gwent comes to its shutdown. Did you ever play Gwent?
Yeah. So the standalone version of the game outside of The Witcher 3.
Yeah, you played that? Is it?
Yeah.
I never played The Witcher 3, which is, I know, blasphemy. It's just always such an undertaking that I'm like, maybe I'll get to it at some point. But yeah, the Gwent always intrigued me. Everybody seemed to really enjoy that.
It was fun as like a card game.
Yeah.
But you play a few dozen of those and you've pretty much played them all.
Right, yeah. So CD Projekt Red, they also announced that they're planning to speed up the development on the latest entry in the Witcher series. So they, since Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty has been completed, they took all those resources and put them towards whatever this new Witcher game is going to be. So, yeah, so that's exciting. I don't know, like when we talk about things being sped up at CD Projekt Red, I really don't know what that means anymore.
Only 3 years of delay instead of 5 this time.
Right. Like, and is it a good thing? Is it a bad? Like, I don't know. Like, just, whenever the game comes out, I'll be happy. And then in, adjacent news to CD Projekt Red, a group of former CDPR devs have formed their own studio called Blank, period. So you got to add that period on it. I don't know how it makes it cool. Blank, and then a little dot. So what they're doing, though, it sounds pretty interesting. So they are committed to bringing beautifully crafted games and unique experiences to players, favoring novel territory rather than well-trodden ground. So one of the things they're working on is a character-driven story from an apocalypse with a twist or two. We've had our share of creating huge, super complicated games with open worlds. That's why we focus on simpler goals, uniqueness, emotions, quality, and refinement. So, Blank. They're making games. What do you think?
As long as that doesn't mean like narrative-driven storytelling or dating sims, I guess it's okay. I look forward to seeing what they come out with.
What if it's like a mating, something where you can mate things together?
If you can breed them together and get like unique properties from each parent, then I'm 100% in.
All right. We'll send a little note to Blank. This is what you should be working on. Breeding.
Yes.
All right. And then next up, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged was announced. I was surprised by this because I feel like we just got the first one, which I had to look. It was September of 2021. So it'll be about 2 years since that first one was announced. But as far as a sequel goes for this racing game, it looks like just more of the same, just different cars and stuff. So what it is, it's got all new mechanics, environments, vehicle styles, and game modes. The game is launching with over 130 vehicles, including the debut of motorcycles and ATVs. Players will be able to enhance the customization of their driving style by using skill points to attain specific perks and build custom builds. An enhanced story-driven campaign and a refined track editor take the franchise to the next level. It's launching on October 19th for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, X, S, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Did you ever get hands-on with the first one?
I really wanted to, and I about picked it up, and then I noticed, I think it's on Game Pass, but maybe not PC Game Pass.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, because that's where I played it. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to check it out if it is on PC Game Pass.
Yeah, and I keep meaning to go back to it because I had a blast playing it, and I just kind of, it's not one you really think about. Part of my problem was I was just crushing it on a couple of the whatever the starter difficulties they put it on. So I'm like, let me play in hard, and on hard it was like you make one mistake and you're in last place. It was very hard. So I was like, I'll come back to it, and then I just never did. So I want to go back. The tracks were fun. The cars were cool, and my kid loved it because he has a ton of Hot Wheels cars. So he was seeing his cars on the video games. So I'll have to go back to it before the sequel comes out.
Yeah, what I noticed in this trailer, which was very much like a teaser trailer, not actual gameplay, was that they looked like they had a lot of focus on off-road, off-track more so. They're going through the sandbox and stuff, and then hitting a section of track, which I think if that is part of this advanced track creator that they're talking about, it sounds like you could do some really cool stuff, make cool tracks. What did they go off of the tracks at all in the first one that you played?
Yeah, Yes, not like as much. So there would be tracks to make it more vertical. But then, yeah, you would go off track. It would still have boundaries. But, you'd be racing along the floor or whatever, but not as off-roading as, you see in this. So,
Yeah. Well, they show like a monster truck and the ATVs they talk about there.
Yeah, so I think that's, because it includes those ATVs and stuff. So, yeah, more of this is not a bad thing. First game is a lot of fun. So, yeah, more power to them. All right, and last up, we got another announcement game trailer. Very interesting game called Ecumene Aztec. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it looks right. That's all that matters right now. But this is a third-person survival action role-playing game. But you play as an Aztec-like warrior trying to withstand the assault of Spanish conquistadors in a Mesoamerican city. So it was very interesting. I liked the style of it. The developer Giantscraft promises a strong narrative RPG progression with blood sacrifices, gritty combat, stealth gameplay, and crafting. Other gameplay features include character upgrades via blood sacrifices, 3 unique character classes, the Jaguar Warrior, Eagle Warrior, and Snake Warrior, a climbing system, and stealth gameplay. Yeah, this one looks cool. You ever see the movie Apocalypto?
I don't think so.
It's a
one with
very...
Mel Gibson?
Yeah, Mel Gibson directed it, but it's all like Aztec people in whatever their language is, and it's like just super, super violent and very bloody, and it was very surprising at how much I liked it. I haven't watched it in many years. I should go back and check it out, but yeah, very, very violent, but a very well-made movie. But this reminds me a lot of that. The same... I don't know. It seems like the same, timeline-ish.
Yeah.
But then very violent and bloody and stuff like that. So, I'm excited.
Yeah, same here. What they show in the trailers looks like there's a lot of cool gameplay mechanics if all that stuff is actually implemented the way they show it off. Like you're making tripwires and spike traps and stuff and getting the conquistadors to follow you. A leopard jumps out at somebody at some point. So if that's all in the game and you can really do that, that would be really awesome. Like it reminds me of like a Far Cry or Just Cause game, but maybe a little more stealth based. Yeah, and it seems like it would be. I mean, the one thing that I kind of worry about is the graphics. I'm not sure they're quite up to 2023 standards.
Yeah,
but this is early stuff we're seeing.
Right. Yeah, it's come out in PC 2025. So I thought the same thing. Graphics definitely look. They look dated already. So yeah, hopefully they could, work on those because the gameplay looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, and that's all I got. So slow news week, fun news week though. You know what I mean? We got a lot of fun stuff, and we're just continuing the summer of games here at Gaming News Weekly. We got a lot to talk about next week. Next week is going to be a big week with we got the Summer Games Fest comes out next week. And then a couple more showcases leading into the Xbox showcase the following week. So lots of big things. This is a little bit of a lull. Give us a little break before the big storm. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, go check this. You could check the video version of this show out on Fruit Lab, or you can check it out on YouTube. Pop Culture Playground is the place to find that. You can find some other stuff that I put out there. Or you go to YouTube, check out Full Clip Stuff, GameFAQs, GameFAX. You can also find him on Twitch, FullClip_FL. Podcast version, if you want to listen to the audio version, please go check out the podcast version. Anywhere podcasts are found, you could listen to this show. Just type in GNW and you'll get us, baby. And then go check out TikTok while it's still available. You can find some all the biggest clips from the show there. And what else? Did I miss anything?
It's got to be it.
It's got to be it. All right. But yeah, make sure you stop back next week for all the juicy news coming out of the Summer Game Fest. And yeah, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.